So I have I just drew this up quickly to show you guys so that it's not made for public consumption. So I didn't label anything. This is the Prime 2 Fux token here, the P on the left, and it is the one that is made by one Prime 2 Fux always costs one Prime Fux, which means that that's a natural arbitrage point. Anytime the price of Prime 2 Fux goes over the price of Prime Flux, which is represented by this pink one here, there's a natural arbitrage that can be done within the system. So that's one of the arbitrage points is between the Prime 2 Flux and the Prime Flux. But then Prime Flux itself is actually an LP token that's made of 80% Flux and 20% Pulse. So there actually becomes an arbitration point too between the price of Flux and the price of Prime 2 Flux should they should they not correlate properly. So you could have an additional burn option just attached to that token that would also correspond to work. And with that in mind, you could also have a burn option attached to the FUX token, which is the reward/utility token of the FUX exchange. That would further make for additional arbitrage opportunities between the price of FUX to Prime FUX and the price of Prime FUX to Prime 2 FUX. So all those things are innately connected. And then the 2 FUX token, which is actually the only one that is not directly connected, like it's not made of the other tokens. Like FUX is a component of Prime FUX, and it is a component of Prime 2 FUX. Like literally, it's inside the tokens. That's not true with 2 FUX. That's effectively the DAO voting token for the 2 FUX protocol, which is a fork of Convex. However, since 2 FUX is the main yield token, or along with FUX, of people who stake their LP or do other actions on the 2 FUX front end, making a burn that attaches to that further increases the value of the 2 FUX token that people are getting in yield, makes everything work better, because people, by having a pair like this, though it doesn't have to be this, there's many ways to do it, in the 2 FUX protocol where people can stake that LP to get yield, it gives them an option. Rather than taking that arbitrage, they would instead pair these burn tokens in LP pairs so that they could farm it, leaving the arbitrage on the table for the next user who wanted to take the arbitrage. So everybody gets less diluted because there's more ways to make money with the Giver Tech tokens. And furthermore, in the bottom here, I have the GIF with PGIF paired together, where you could have a pair with multiple tokens, but where people would have that same opportunity to not take arbitrage with the GIF and PGIF tokens, because instead they were yield farming, leaving that arbitrage for other people, making the whole system less diluted and more interesting. So, and then furthermore, our protocol has an option to include a potential third token for yield for people who provide liquidity, which if your ecosystem were to produce a third token that were to be disseminated via LP farming, you could further incentivize people to farm something like a Gifford Ware LP pair.
Okay, perfect. So I'm checking out the code currently, and this is the aura.sol, right? Is the forked code?
Or yeah, you bet. We forked Aura Finance, which is pretty much a fork of Vex.
Okay, so from what I'm seeing here, and this is something we ran into with the LUSD fork actually as well, is that the token is not actually deletable or burnable within the function. So my first guess would be it would probably not be a great idea to send a government governance token to the debt address, as it's basically holding up voting ability, or I think there's some sort of yield that might be involved too. Is that right?
Actually, yeah, I see your point. But in this case, it's because, and you'll probably find this with some other protocols too, because all the voting power or yield is just directed to the people who do, in the case of the 2 FUX token, it's called locking. The ones who lock it are getting the yield, and they're getting the voting power associated with the DAO functions, essentially. And the people who don't lock, either because they're providing LP or doing something else with the token, they're just giving up that yield and those rights. So it's not like it's lost to the dead address, which would be the case with some tokens. In this case, it'd just be like, it'd be the same as if it was burnt. There's no actual loss as far as it not being accessible. For the yield just gets redirected to different people. The votes just get redirected to different people. The only one I'd have a concern with what I've put on the table here is actually this Prime PHUX token, in that that's the only one of these tokens that's actually an LP token. So if you did this one, you would be burning an LP token, meaning that LP token, the LP is permanently locked in the PHUX protocol in this case.
Perfect. Yep, that answers my question. Okay, so then the PHUX token, we could actually just send that to the dead address. Now my next question is about the PHUX token itself. Is that that's kind of the spear token of the whole ecosystem, is it not?
It's the yield / utility token of the PHUX exchange specifically. So in that way, yes, but the same rules apply in that it has a yield boosting property as well as a voting property that's attached to it being locked. But it's again, it gets delegated to the people who lock, and if some's not locked and was sent to a dead address, nothing bad happens. Just other people get that yield and other people get those votes.
It appears I can burn that one.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, that's a it essentially is importing in the ERC20 burnable contract from Open Zeppelin, and
Okay.
that makes it so we can actually destroy that token if we did build on top of that, which is really what I want to do this in one of my next launches. Is I want to actually make it so that we're destroying both tokens that we're interacting with.
Yeah, I think like that looks good on paper, like as far as the token disappearing from the tokenomics, etc. But I think we have to remember that like we're in the top 2%, and there's not very many people that would actually examine that statistic going forward. So if you accomplish the same thing with the burn address, if there is no, or not the dead address, if there is no burn option to completely disintegrate it, very few users would even comment.
Well, we are, the last launch that we did, I did push myself considerably by launching 2 protocols on the same
Indeed.
day.
Yeah. Impressive.
I'm curious, how do you think it would play out if we had chosen to, 1, destroy the PHUX token, and 2, send the 2 PHUX token to the dead address, and we launched those 2 protocols in the same day? What ramifications could you possibly see coming from that?
Well, my proposal here is actually that you could have up to 4 contracts launched in the same day. That would all focus together. I think the thing would be that by having these things that interact together with multiple arbitrage points outside the Gifford tech, you could literally get like cascading arbitrage, right? Be like, okay, so somebody burns the PHUX token, and then it's off kilter with the Prime PHUX, and then there's an arbitrage there, which makes there be an arbitrage with the Prime 2 PHUX token, which is made using one Prime PHUX token all the time, every day. So, and then people are have an alternate option to stake all of these burn tokens paired with their counterparts on the 2 PHUX front end to get yield in more 2 PHUX tokens, which is being burnt by the protocol. And more PHUX tokens that are being burnt by the protocol. So you end up with like people not taking that arbitrage to get the yield instead. It's just like there'd be so much on the table that if you did them all at once rather than one at a time, it'd just be like this bang, right? Like there'd be so many arbitrages. There'd be like people, obviously there'd be some like higher end users that would get more of it than other people, but everybody who's just involved with the ecosystem be like, oh, the price of this token went up, the price of this token went up, the price of this token went up. The yield farming would be drawing so much attention on top of the other things that you could make it into a really like a crazy press event, right? Which is sort of more my, domain of expertise than the dev work, obviously. But there's definitely opportunity to make something where the arbitration points are very interesting, which is what I really liked about the iBurn contract, because it enabled me to to do that ICOSA hex arb for the first time. And, it feels like since the PulseChain launched, basically, right? I did that 3 or 4 times that day, on one of the days or 2 of the days. And then it subsided. I think with something like this, where we have multiple arbitrage points, we could keep that roller coaster moving for longer. And then because of the power of, like the FUX DEX and the 2FUX Aura fork, there'd be additional options through things like our bribe protocol, or just incentivize yield farming with additional tokens to jumpstart it if it stops at a certain point, right? Which is, I see as one of the issues with the current Gifford tech software, is that you can get sort of like a lull where it doesn't happen for a while. But if you have outside more levers, right, that are not necessarily connected to the Giffordware protocol, you can maybe kickstart it again, and it can have new life for an extended period of time.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. Let me ask you some more broader based questions. How do you suppose your community, because I know you have a community now, how would the 2FUX community um basically perceive gift tech being placed on their tokens? And then as a side question, how do you think the FUX community, and in particular, I don't know if you have a fairly good relationship with Buck, but how do you think they would respond as well?
I think just generally speaking, when you say the 2FUX community and the FUX community, they're now pretty much one community, and it will grow more to be that, in the next couple days for sure, as people move all their LP from FUX over to 2FUX, which is really in a lot of ways just a different front end for FUX that pays people more. So, we're going to see that migration. But as far as our relationship with the PH team, which is a separate team, like it's good. Like we have, we're whitelisted inside the FUX protocol to make it more secure and easier for our users and things like that. So, we definitely have conversations. And as far as integrating with Gifford Tech is, that's a discussion that we would have to have with them. The main issue would be to get these pools gauged, just meaning they're eligible to be incentivized. And that's 100% up to the PH team and not the 2FUX team. However, when we bring something to them that makes sense, that these are businessmen and they will tend to do the thing that makes sense. So like the pools that I've proposed here, where we had one pool that had, FUX tokens, and we're going to burn these FUX tokens, like, and pair them together. This is going to generate a lot of fees. This is going to be good for the PH community in general. And then another pool like the one with the gift tokens here, like there's no reason that wouldn't be a great pool to have on the FUX exchange, and that it wouldn't do fantastic volume and incentivize people to provide LP, which, as an exchange, that's what they want. They want people to provide LP, and they want it to be good LP, like not meme coins paired against meme coins that don't have any traffic. Things like this make sense and would have substantial fees for the exchange, which gets, of course, trickled down to the users and to the holders of the 2FUX token, and through that, the holders of the Prime 2FUX and 2FUX tokens. So I think it'd be an overall win, and it wouldn't be a tough conversation considering the financial energy that we'd be putting behind it. Like, just to put in perspective, like 2FUX, less than a week into full launch here, has almost $1 million in liquidity on the FUX exchange. So, to add to that with something like this, I can't see it being sad.
That's awesome. Well, this has definitely earned a spot on the poll. That's for sure.
Thank you.
There's a lot here I'm going to unpack. Obviously off stream, off mic. I'm going to do a little more deep diving and see kind of exactly how the mechanics would play out on the back end. But I really like what I'm hearing.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks for your time, and yeah, reach out to me if you want to go through this stuff. Like I said, I didn't make this for public consumption. This is literally like more my thought tool that I can add some notes to this, or I'm sure for you'll just be able to pick it up very quickly. But yeah, I'm available for comment.
That's awesome. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you.
Anytime.
All right. So that, two Fucks community, them coming together as one community. And, if we can get their attention and if they're interested in having gift tech built on them, it's just a matter of us working out some of the fine details and specifically within the contracts and see how we would want to deploy this. There could be a real opportunity there. I think that's fantastic.